questioning was my first hint that I was leaning towards business analysis. Even if I didn't know the title yet, after some time I realized I wanted more than just another job. A few turning points really shaped my path. The first was getting certified. Earning my ECBA gave me not just credential, but also the right language to explain business analyst concepts clearly in interview.
So, any advice for business analysts on how they can become more efficient in their day-to-day activities?
My biggest advice is to work smarter, not harder. Use templates, they save time and keep things consistent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FuturePath Global, the interview series where we bring insights, stories, and experiences from professionals who are successful in their careers. So, today's focus is a day in the life of a business analyst in the USA. So, this episode will help you understand the life of a business analyst. What do they do? Which tools they use? Who do they interact? How do they interact with stakeholders? And much more. So, we are excited to join by Mr. Rizwan Syed, a Techcanvass ECBA graduate who began his career as a junior BA and now grown into a senior business analyst role in the USA. So, let's welcome to Rizwan to FuturePath Global. Hello, Rizwan. How are you doing?
Hi, Bhavana. I'm doing great. And how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing fine. So, to start with it, Rizwan, could you please start telling us about your journey from an insurance case examiner to now working as a senior business analyst in USA?
Absolutely. So, my journey has been anything but straightforward. I actually started in the auto insurance industry as a case examiner. Back then, I was knee deep in compliance checks and case reviews. It was good work, but I often found myself thinking, I am solving problems in the moment, but what about the bigger picture? Why do these processes exist the way they do? Could they be better? That line of questioning was my first hint that I was leaning towards business analysis. Even if I didn't know the title yet, after some time I realized I wanted more than just another job. I wanted a career with growth, longevity, and future I could build on. That's when I decided to pivot. I invested in structured training through Techcanvass, earned my ECBA certification, and suddenly the pieces clicked. From there, I started working on projects in financial services, digital transformation, implementation of enterprise resource planning systems, and the IT related projects. Step by step, I built my way into a senior business analyst role.
So, what were the key milestone or turning points in your career that helped you grow to a senior role?
A few turning points really shaped my path. The first was getting certified. Earning my ECBA gave me not just credential, but also the right language to explain business analyst concepts clearly in interviews and on the job. It was my entry ticket into the profession and gave me the confidence to take ownership of requirements from day one. The second was working on high stakes enterprise projects. For example, I was involved in the Acumatica ERP implementation, where I had to capture and refine requirements across finance and operations teams. Then, with the iCertis CLM project, I learned how critical it is to align legal and business teams on contract management processes. On the ServiceNow initiatives, I spent time streamlining workflows and documenting user requirements in a way that worked both for IT and business users. And most recently on identity and access management integration projects, I worked at the intersection of security and user experience, making sure the solutions met compliance standards while still being easy for members to use. Each of these projects stretched me in different ways and forced me to grow beyond just the basics of business analyst role. And the third milestone, honestly, was my habit of saying yes to opportunities. even when I wasn't completely sure I was ready. I remember being asked to own UAT documentation and or step into PI planning prep sessions. At first, I thought this is outside my comfort zone and I'm not ready for it. But every time I leaned in, I came out stronger. Those stretch assignments combined with the experience of working on complex enterprise systems are what really transformed me from being a BA on the team into being seen as a senior business analyst who could lead and deliver at scale.
Great to hear that, Rizwan. So, definitely, as you mentioned, we have to come out of our comfort zone, right? When we have to
Absolutely.
grow. So, that is very important.
Absolutely.
So, if you can just walk us through what a typical day looks like for you as a senior BA, or what are some of your core responsibilities daily? What, like, such as your user story, requirement workshop, or strategy discussion? What is it?
Absolutely. So my morning usually starts with checking Jira boards to see where the team is in the sprint. Then I head into our daily stand up with developers, QAs, and product owners. After that, my day can branch out in few different ways. Some days are heads down, writing user stories, acceptance criteria, refining test cases. Other days are about collaboration, running requirement workshops or backlog grooming. And then there are days where I'm pulled into strategic conversations where we look at how a feature impact compliance, risk, or overall experience. So no 2 days look exactly the same, which is what keeps it interesting. My core responsibilities revolve around being a translator between business and tech. On a given day, that could mean writing user stories, backlog refinement, or anything above that I mentioned. So I help turn scattered ideas into clear requirements. I also support testing to make sure what we deliver actually matches what was promised.
So, what does collaboration looks like for you in an agile environment? So, who do you work with most closely, whether it is testers, product owner, or your stakeholders?
So in Agile, collaboration never stops. I work closest with the product owner since we align constantly on priorities. Then I'm in regular in touch with developers, testers, clarifying stories or unblocking issues. Beyond the team, it's about connecting with stakeholders and making sure everyone sees the same vision. For me, collaboration is less about the ceremonies and more about building trust and keeping communication clear.
So, what are the typical challenges and constraints you have on a regular basis, and how do you deal with it?
Two challenges come up again and again. The first is what I call speed versus stability. The business wants fast results, but tech needs proper time to build and test. I manage that by setting expectations early and breaking large features into smaller phases. The second challenge is conflicting requirements. Different stakeholders sometimes want completely different things, and that can slow everything down. When that happens, I like to use visuals like process flows or diagrams to show everyone the big picture. Once people see it laid out, it's much easier to get everyone aligned.
So, what tools with most frequently? Is it Jira, Slack, Confluence? What is it?
So my bread and butter are Jira and Confluence. Jira keeps our backlog and sprints organized, while Confluence is where I document everything. On top of that, I use Slack and Teams for communication, Miro for workshops, and Figma for UI mockups, and then, of course, SharePoint for structured documents.
So, as a senior BA, do you use these tools differently than you used to work when you were in your junior role?
Absolutely. As a junior, Jira was just a task tracker, move tickets left to right. Now I use it for prioritization, dependency tracking, velocity reporting, and PI planning. With Confluence, I went from just keeping notes to creating knowledge bases and reusable templates. It's about using tool not just to store information, but to actually drive alignment and efficiency.
So, any advice for business analysts on how they can become more efficient in their day-to-day activities?
My biggest advice is to work smarter, not harder. Use templates, they save time and keep things consistent. Don't wait until you have written a 10-page document before checking in with your stakeholders, developers, and testers. Clarify things early so you don't waste effort. And finally, always favor clarity over length. Clarity is very important. A one paragraph user story that everyone understands is far more valuable than a 10-page document that leaves people confused. Efficiency for business analysts is really about reducing misunderstanding before it ever happens. So, clarity is the key.
So definitely, thank you so much, Rizwan, for sharing these advices. Okay, and I'm sure many people this will actually help many as people who have recently started their BA career. Okay, they will take the advices. Okay, the tips which you have shared, and I'm sure it will help them a lot. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Rizwan, for sharing your insights and your experiences on your day-to-day activities for a BA role. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned for more such real stories from our alumni or professionals who are future proofing their careers. Thanks for watching.